Adam Walter here with Virtual C, and I want to talk to you today about a very important tool that I use almost every single day. And that's this little guy here. Now, what you need to know about him is that he is the most powerful tool you have in your arsenal for creating client conversations that are engaging, enticing, and make people want to brag about who you are. And the reason is because for some reason in the late 90s we decided that slideshows were the best way to show things. And what we discovered in the late 2000s was that they were the worst way to communicate information and show things. And here's why. At any given conversation, you want to have a dynamic back and forth. You don't want to be in lecture mode. Lecturing is when you have one person and 100 people learning from them. It's very inefficient to have a dynamic conversation with 100 people. But the powers that be in business decided that if you have a PowerPoint presentation, you can guarantee the content of any lecture at any given time. But we started using the lectures to present to small groups of people. So we had these small groups of people who are there, you're using an hour of their time, and you're presenting on how this thing is, and they're very sad. You don't like going through PowerPoint presentations at conferences. Why would your clients? No one sat there and said, wow, that was a really cool PowerPoint presentation. They always think that's a dynamic speaker. So instead of using these PowerPoint presentations where you have a crappy pie chart sitting up there, really fancy maybe, it could be shiny, it could sparkle for all I care, it doesn't matter because it's not memorable. What is memorable is you walking into the room as the presenter and sitting there and hold a nice little whiteboard marker, because then your client is sitting down here watching you discuss things and they're actually discussing because you have now written on the board, oh, whatever topic it is. So we're talking about cadence here, and your client has a question. And so they say, hey, I've got a question about that. Now you can take your nice little whiteboard marker and you can include their questions and their dynamic responses in your presentation. You can show them how you're going to help them. You can show them what you're going to do to solve their problem. And now they are contributing. Now they want to bring in friends and coworkers and whoever else from outside and say, hey guys, I got questions for you. Can you come in here and help me out? Can you contribute to this conversation? That's what happens with me all the time. When I pull out a whiteboard marker and I start drawing on the board, they go, well, I don't know the answer to that. Let me ask Bob. And they'll bring in the CFO or the CEO or the top sales guy. And all of a sudden, I'm having a very engaging conversation dynamically, because no one pulls somebody and said, hey, you need to come see this PowerPoint presentation. They always come in, hey, you got to see this speaker, or you got to see this guy. He really knows what he's talking about. And you do that by engaging them in a conversation. So this relationship here will help facilitate these relationships over here. And now you have an engaging conversation, whether it's a 20-minute conversation, a 10-minute conversation, or a 2-hour conversation. Don't do 2 hours, that's way too long. But you now have your client's undivided attention. This is why you want to focus on a dynamic marker, not a huge PowerPoint presentation. We know PowerPoint presentations can be streamlined. You can give it to all your employees and they'll be able to present exactly what you want them to. But it's not them. It's not them talking to the client. There's no relationship there. It's just a PowerPoint on a screen. Send that to them in an email, your clients, and they'll maybe go through it. When you're on site, when you're talking to a client, pull up a whiteboard of some kind, illustrate what's going on, engage them, include their ideas, and come up with strategies together. Do you ever notice that your engineers always pull out a whiteboard marker or start drawing on a piece of paper when they're problem solving? The same thing should be true of any engagement with your clients. Get rid of the PowerPoint, pick up one of these, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Start doing it in simple conversations, your weekly conversations, your monthlies, your quarterlies. Pick a conversation that's coming up in the next 2 weeks and do a whiteboard conversation. Illustrate out your normal PowerPoint and start asking questions throughout, and you'll see that your clients are much more engaged, that they're actually paying attention to you, and you're finding out more about what projects are coming up and how to include them and what can be going on. You may start even seeing the C-levels drop in because they love these conversations. If you have any other questions about how to run an effective conversation with clients, feel free to reach out to Virtual C and we'll help you out. Have a great day.